So, we're currently going through what I like to refer to as Holiday Cycle 2. Just to clarify this, Holiday Cycle 1 is Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Basically all just, hits in a row. Holiday Cycle 2 is the bad one. Let's just put it like this. If the holiday cycles were albums, Cycle 2 would not be the greatest hits album. Just so you know, it's Valentine's Day all the way to 4th of July. There's actually more holidays and it still just sucks. 4th of July is okay, sometimes I have fun on that one, but Easter might be the only one that I consider to be a legit hit. It's basically just like a little mini Christmas. Candy, the toys, mythological, immortal being that gives you these things. So yeah, I am an Easter fan, so naturally I had to do an Easter episode for Horror Furs. The logical approach is to pick a movie that features some sort of anthropomorphic bunny monster. This can include basically, one of two things. It could be, like somebody dressed like a bunny, or it could be an actual half-human, half-bunny monster. I had options, like, dear God, Cottontail from 2007, spelled with a K, Peter Rottentail, Bunnyman, 2011, and that one I believe had sequels, Donnie Darko, Wallace and Gromit, and The Curse of the Were-Rabbit, the Twilight Zone movie. There's a small section with Bunny. Cottontail 2018, this time it's spelled the proper way though. Not as cool. Furry Nights, Holidays, and Bunnicula, the animated series, also kind of based on the book series. So yeah, I could have picked any one of those. So which one are we going with? Beaster Day, of course. It was the best option that I could watch for free. So what is Beaster Day about? Also, Beaster Day has some sort of subtitle also, like The Wrath of Peter Rotten Hell or something. I don't know, it's really stupid. What is this movie about? Well, let's get into it. Let's actually get into the gosh darn review. I've talked enough about all this nonsense, this endless plethora of bunny horror movies, which I think there's still more. I didn't even list all of them. I keep finding more. Movie opens up with this really weird wedding sequence where this son is giving a speech at his father's wedding and basically talks about how his father's a scumbag. Really awkward and weird, and it's kind of like you're not sure what the tone of this movie is. Is this supposed to be funny? Is this supposed to be serious? Is this guy going to be our main character? But then the guy leaves and he gets killed by something, and there's some very awkward editing. That's a thing we should talk about right now. Every time somebody gets killed in this movie, I don't know if they're green screen or digital effects, it all looks terrible. All of the gore effects are terrible in this movie. They'd be fine for a cheesy movie, but it's really the editing that kind of throws me off. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, I guess, but let's move on. The introduction to our actual protagonist, maybe. No, I don't know if that's the right word. We meet Doug. Doug is a dog catcher who works at Dog Catcher in the Rye, and you kind of get the feel pretty quickly that this guy is a bit of a tool. He takes his job very seriously. He has a lot of confidence in what he does, but also maybe not a lot of confidence, because in his introduction scene, we see him just stuffing a bunch of padding into the crotch of his pants. For reasons you can probably figure out, I guess. So yeah, that's Doug. We'll learn more about him later. Then we meet, I guess we should call our actual protagonist. This I mean at this time. I think her name was Linda. Might have been Belinda. Pretty sure it was Linda. I really wasn't paying attention to names. I heard Linda, and I didn't want to rewind because I thought YouTube would make me watch another ad, because YouTube's getting very vicious with the ads. This movie's for free on YouTube, by the way, so there's that. So we're just going to call her Linda. Linda is kind of like a down-on-her-luck actress who's trying to follow her dreams to be an actress, and I guess that wasn't working out. She's just like a starving artist type. She wants to do artsy-fartsy things. So we meet her when she's failing on her acting career, and then later she says she wants to be a poet. That's her true calling. Clearly she doesn't know what she wants. She's just basically a talentless loser that I guess should just get a real job. But we'll get to that. So because the acting career isn't working out, she's asking if she can move back in with her parents. She's basically calling her parents during some weird I don't know, bacon fetish stuff. Basically, her father is begging his wife to let him eat some bacon and sausage that she is cooking, and she says no because of his cholesterol, which made me wonder, why are you going to make a ton of bacon and sausage right in front of this man? You know, when you have a family member that needs to get healthy, you should try and, you know, make a few changes in your own diet just to kind of encourage them. But then we find out that he asked her to make it just so he could smell it. So I don't know, it's just like a weird bacon fetish thing. I don't know how else to describe this. That's our main protagonist, Linda, and what happens next? So now we're going to get into the first appearance of the actual monster. We get to see the horrifying monstrosity that is the Beast of Beasterday. It's basically just this kind of anthropomorphic bunny creature, a giant one at that, with a weird skull face. It is a very cool design, I think, but it is a super low budget thing. Like, it's clearly depicted through a puppet that is kind of like being controlled in front of a green screen. Like, it could have actually looked really good if they like used better angles and better attempts at moving the puppet, and I don't know, just real basic filmmaking stuff. I don't know. So yeah, like, it looks cool, but it also looks like trash. And then every time you kill somebody, it's like the editing doesn't make sense. It's like there's a shot of the monster moving. He's not like moving down to bite or anything, but then it cuts to the victim dismembered. It's like, okay, did he just magically make you fall apart? Like, what happened? It doesn't make any sense. Or like, it'll just cut to somebody like, ah, and then the next shot is the bunny with the person in his mouth, just like shaking, and their legs are sticking out of the mouth. Like, the editing doesn't. Obviously, the effects are gonna look like crap. This is meant to be a schlocky cheese fest. I'm not stupid, I get like the joke here, but the editing just really throws me off. But anyway, the bunny comes in for the first kill where we actually see it. He stomps this woman to death, her eye pops out in a very Evil Dead 2-ish. Hey, actually I have this. Did not do that on purpose, but I feel like I need to just point it out now. The eye like smashes through a window, lands in a pitcher of lemonade, and the woman's husband comes in and takes a sip and doesn't see the eyeball, and then there's just this massive optic nerve hanging out of his mouth. Yeah, it's disgusting and hilarious all at once. I love it. I guess I do love this movie. I get the humor, and I think the humor is pulled off very nicely. It's just like the weird editing when it comes to the kills. It's like, that's almost like too crappy. Like, you could have done a little better. You didn't have to be that dedicated to that let's make a purposely bad movie thing. I mean, in my head, when you're trying to make a bad movie on purpose, your goal should be not to make a bad movie. It should be to make a good comedy, because the joke is that the movie is bad. Overall, this movie, you know, like the humor among like the dialogue and everything, it works. It's funny. Maybe they were legitimately incompetent with the special effects. I don't know. One of the world's greatest mysteries. How many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? Roughly 130. I actually counted before. Multiple times. It varies. Maybe 130 to 140. So that's really not a mystery, I guess. What am I talking about? So after that, we get a feel for Doug's work life at Dog Catcher in the Rye, whatever dog catcher place. I guess they have some sort of award system every year. First, second, and third place for Best Dog Catcher of the Year. And Doug seems to be pretty confident that he is going to get the first place prize because he apparently gets it every year. He takes a lot of pride in it. It might actually be the only thing in his life that he has. So he's waiting for that, and wouldn't you know it, he doesn't win any places. First place goes to Hector. Hector's the man that we all wish we could be. Hector is cool. Hector is chill. Hector's just a working man catching dogs because, you know, he's just gotta. But no, Hector comes off as a very, like, chill, down-to-earth character versus Doug, who is kind of a maniac. Doug is pretty gosh darn upset about the whole not getting first prize. So this ends up turning into a bit of a feud that will kind of follow throughout the movie. So now that we've gotten to know Doug a little bit better, let's go back to Linda and get to know her a little bit better as she's sitting at a diner with her father having a discussion about her future. It's basically just, you know, talking about, you know, she's a starving artist, she's got to do Blossom or whatever, and the dad's saying you need to just get a real job, you need to get real about things. But it's funny because I'm watching this scene and I'm just looking at how competently edited it is, and it's like the filmmakers knew how to do a scene like this. Like, it's not an award-winning scene, but it's just like, if you look at this in terms of like major TV crap, this would be fine. This is like that level. It's just like competent. But then I look at the kill scenes, and they're just so like, they look like something I made when I was like a teenager. So that's kind of weird. But anyway, so he convinces her that she needs to get a job. Where does she go to work? Well, at Dog Catcher in the Rye, of course. Has anybody read Catcher in the Rye? I don't even know what it's about. I just know that it's controversial for reasons. But anyway, she's working there now. There seems to be like a little bit of some sort of love triangle going on. Like, she's gonna start getting into Hector a little bit, but Doug's into her, but nobody's into Doug. So after that, we get to meet the mayor. The mayor is a very interesting character in this movie because he's like a hippie, but he's not a hippie. You almost get the feeling like maybe he was just like into like the hippie movement because sex and drugs are fun, but he doesn't believe in any actual like hippie stuff. He's just like a sleazy politician or something. Like when we're first meeting him, you know, he just like takes a sucker out of a little girl's hand that she's about to eat. He just takes it and then he eats it and keeps on walking. And I have to keep like stopping for interruptions, and these are just easier to put on right now, so you're just gonna have to deal with this for the rest of the video. So anyway, what else was I saying about the mayor? Oh yeah, like there's like, they need like a stop sign, and he's like making a big excuse about why we don't need a stop sign. He's a tool. He sucks. You know, the bunny's killing people, and he starts like finding every way to deny that bunnies are killing people because there's like this big Easter festival going on. Oh yeah, it's an Easter movie. That barely comes into play. But anyway, so he's just like, there's a giant egg, and he's just, which that's never explained, by the way. Giant egg in the middle of the forest. No explanation for what that is. He's just like, yeah, that's just decoration. There's this giant egg with blood on it. Whatever, it's decoration. Who cares? He's being told that the Amish are being killed. Apparently, the Amish, maybe, I don't know. And he's just like, hey, who cares about the Amish? Are they voters? Are they Republicans or Democrats? And they keep this character kind of like politically ambiguous. Like, is he on the right or the left? They don't really explain it, and you can't really tell because it's like, you kind of like, you know, when he acts like a hippie a lot, which might suggest left, but he also does things that contradict hippies, so this movie's kind of a masterpiece. I don't know what to tell you. While the mayor's busy denying things.
Mr. Mayor, how does an electric rig put a body 20 feet into a tree?
Are you a physicist? Are you a physicist, man? It's just one of those science things, man, that nobody knows. It's like the last number of pi, or how they get the stuffing in those Twinkies, man.
Linda and Doug are working together to catch this beast, which I guess they're led to believe that this giant Easter bunny thing is like just a dog killing people. I don't know. I'm not really paying that much attention to the plot there, and neither should you. The Easter bunny killings are being blamed on some sort of a pack of wolves. That's what it was. It was a pack of wolves, I'm pretty sure. So they gotta catch this pack of wolves because that's what dog catchers do or something. And while they're working together, we end up learning that Doug was once going to be a police officer. Or at least that's what he wanted to do, but he failed the police academy. Why? Because the loud sounds that the guns make. So they sound like clowns popping balloons or some weird stuff. I don't even... So anyway, that doesn't do much for making Doug look good in the eyes of Linda. Yeah, it's not looking good for him. Definitely Hector is still top priority hunk of meat there. I don't know what I'm saying. Speaking of Hector, he's off about doing his dog catching job before he ends up getting killed by the bunny. And it's a very ironic death too, because he trips and stabs himself with his own trophy that was probably purchased at a Dollar Tree. I'm going to try to wrap this review up a little bit here. At one point, Doug, he's working solo, and he does end up seeing the bunny. So he's probably one of the few people to see it and then get away. And then he tries warning everybody about the bunny, but everybody just thinks he's crazy. And he ends up getting institutionalized. They throw him in the loony bin, and he's got like a straitjacket on, and he's just like shouting out the window at everybody at the Easter festival. It's not called the Easter festival, they call it something else, I don't care. He's just shouting out them, you know, like trying to warn them about this evil bunny monster. And then when you know it, the bunny monster ends up showing up and wreaks havoc. It's just a bloodfest. Everybody's getting smooshed and squashed and bitten and crappy green screen effects to death. all over the place. It's a nightmare. So Linda ends up seeing this and she's like, I gotta do something. So she goes back to her parents' house to get her father's gun. There's some weird bacon fetish stuff going on. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Then she breaks Doug out so he can help her, but he's kind of hopped up on drugs or something. I don't know what that's about. So he's kind of not in the right head. She dresses him up like a carrot to use for bait, but I don't think that really comes into play. There's some weird scene where Doug kills his boss.
Take me to a hospital. Please. No, God. You're in heaven now.
Oscar winning. Just, that's all I'm gonna say. It's just total chaos. This movie's chaos up to the last minute, and I try not to give the ending away because it's so epic. It's not though. It's really not. And you're gonna have questions about like why was there this giant Easter bunny? So anyway, just watch the movie. It's on YouTube. It's for free. You can watch it. I wouldn't pay to watch this, honestly. Maybe $5 at the most. It is actually really funny movie. I gotta get into my rating system now. The gore gets a 5 out of 10 because it is gory, it's bloody, but the effects are terrible, so I can't really give it anything higher than 5. Both the thrills and the creeps, 0 out of 10. This is a ridiculous movie. There's no tension. I'm giving the monster an 8 out of 10 actually, which seems like way too high. But it looks like effort was put into making it. It's just no effort was put into shooting it and puppeteering it properly. And overall, I'm going to do an 8 out of 10. Because again, this is a funny movie. I mean, it's entertaining. I mean, I kind of just have like this very, try not to curse too much on this channel, but I have a very shitpost sense of humor. If your idea of top tier comedy is like, I don't know, The Big Bang Theory, which is very safe, predictable, bland, you're probably not going to like this. But if you like just like Aqua Teen Hunger Force kind of comedy, this right here, watch this movie. Okay, that's all I got to say about that. Thank you for watching this episode. Happy Easter, I guess.